Welcome back. Good day, NWA. Now, believe it or not, it's already back to school time. And here to tell us how we can keep our kids safe as they walk and ride to school, we got Tony Pirani from Caddell Reynolds. Thanks so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So August is back to school safety month, right? So we've got buses back on the road. How can we stay safe when driving?
You got to watch out for the buses.
Yeah.
And one thing people probably aren't aware of is a bus is a very safe means of transportation.
Okay.
In fact, when kids are going to school, a bus is 13 times safer than riding in a passenger vehicle and 10 times safer than being a pedestrian. But motorists have to pay attention and notice where the buses are. It's always illegal to pass a school bus.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which side of the road you're on. You've got to stop. The 10 feet around the bus are typically the most dangerous for children.
Okay.
And, you know, kids get distracted. They don't always necessarily, they tend to ignore risks and hazards.
Sure.
Sometimes adults tend to ignore risks and hazards.
Yeah.
So you just got to kind of keep a lookout and be careful. Make sure you're observing the proper speed limits and stop for those school buses and allow the kids to safely get on and off of the bus.
Right. Man, such great information. And what about teen drivers back on the road? They're driving to school now. What do we need to know and be aware of about that?
The thing about teen drivers is obviously they're excited to get behind the wheel. I can remember those days myself. They don't have the experience that a lot of drivers do. That takes time to build up. One of the biggest issues we see, as you might imagine, Jason, is texting and driving.
Sure.
You just don't need to ever text and drive. Distracted driving is a cause of many, many accidents. According to statistics from the National Highway Transportation Safety Board, there were over, I think, almost 4,000 fatalities and almost 400,000 injuries involving distracted driving, I believe, in 2015 alone. If you think about this, anytime you look to see or read a text message, excuse me, on average you're losing about 5 seconds that you're not paying attention to the road. If you're traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's the equivalent of driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed because you're not looking at the road.
That's true.
I mean, you've got to pay attention, cannot text and drive.
Man, I'm glad you put it like that. Like, that helps me visualize and see.
It really does.
The implications.
Because
of what
it is. It's just like you've got your eyes closed.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we haven't had to keep an eye out for the school zones all summer because kids have been out of school. But now we're back in school. We've got those, zones around the school. What do we need to be aware of about that?
It's all about paying attention, ultimately, and observing the speed limits. And that doesn't matter what time of day it is. If you're in a school zone, it could be 10 o'clock on a Friday night. Maybe a football game's letting out. If there are children present, you need to observe those posted speed limits, which is 25 miles an hour or slower. Always make sure you're doing that. Watch those crosswalks. I can't emphasize that enough. I've represented, unfortunately, far too many children and their families who were in the crosswalk just trying to get to school or home from school. Someone wasn't paying attention. So you've just got to always be watching.
Thank you so much for bringing us all this information right here on Good Day NWA. And we're going to be back with more Good Day right after this.
Thank you.
Thank you.